A gruesome crime unfolds inside what was once a quiet couple's home. The next day, Kevin and his crew cleans up the bloody scene. One of the crew makes a remark about the man who caused the mess in the house, and the homeowners Robert and Claudia overhear it. Robert calls him out for being insensitive, and Kevin steps in to diffuse the tension. Kevin is married to a fashion designer named Natalie. Their marriage has been on the rocks ever since Natalie had an affair with someone at work, and now they are trying to work things out. However, each time they try to get romantic, Kevin can't help but remember what she did, ruining the moment. Since then, the couple consults a marriage counselor, and she suggests that a new environment might help them heal. While looking at the house he recently cleaned, Kevin comes up with an idea. Meanwhile, Natalie opens up to her sister how her past affair continues to ruin her marriage, and Danny tells her it's not entirely her fault. Kevin didn't meet her needs as a woman. Moments later, Kevin arrives and reminds his wife about the new environment that the counselor suggested. He is thinking about buying Claudia and Robert's house, and because of the bloody incident that happened there, he knows he can buy the property at a low price. Natalie hates the idea, and it sparks an argument between them. The wife says she does not want to move to a house where someone's brain had just splattered all over the living room, and Kevin rebuts that he does not want to sleep in the bed where his wife was screwed by another man. That night, Kevin sleeps on the couch, but a little later, Natalie comes over and finally agrees to check the house. The next day, Robert and Claudia tour the couple to the house, and Kevin says they are really interested in buying it. However, he can only offer less than the asking price and pleads with them to accept it. Because of the incident, people avoid buying the house, and since they haven't had prospective buyers for months, Claudia accepts Kevin's offer. However, Robert seems not happy of the agreed price. The next day, Danny helps Natalie move their things to the new house when their dog suddenly starts barking at a closet. Natalie checks the wardrobe, but she finds nothing. That night, the dog starts whining, so Kevin takes him outside, unaware that the house's thermostat is suddenly dropping fast. When he got back, Natalie got scared because she thought someone else was using the bathroom. Kevin checks it, but no one's there. The odd events continue the next morning as Kevin finds adult magazines in the mailbox addressed to him, even though he never ordered it. When Natalie is about to go to work, she notices someone sitting in a truck across the street, staring at their house. Kevin returns to schooling after his work. During one of his class, the professor asks everyone to pair up for a project, and a pretty student named Avery asks Kevin if they can be partners. Kevin agrees, and the two exchange numbers after class, with Avery subtly flirting at the married man. Natalie meets with a businesswoman who is willing to help open her own fashion store. This made her very happy. That evening, Kevin prepares a romantic setup in the living room to celebrate his wife's success. After drinking a glass of champagne, the couple starts making out, and for the first time in a long while, they finally revive their passion for each other. A while later, Natalie wakes up to find the thermostat set at 31. She resets it to 70 and heads to the kitchen for some water. Suddenly, a gloomy song begins playing on the record player. While turning it off, the closet behind her slowly opens. She checks it again, and it is still empty. Natalie then notices that the main door is unlocked, and after locking it, she is terrified to see that the closet is open again. She closes it once more and returns to bed. Kevin asks what's wrong, and Natalie says she just had a bad dream. The husband kisses her, and the two shares another round of passionate night. The next morning, Natalie steps out of the shower and sees a sweet message written on the fogged-up bathroom mirror. When she thanks Kevin for it, he's confused because he didn't write it. Before they can talk about it, a package addressed to Kevin arrives, and it is another set of adult magazines. The next day, Natalie is on the phone with her sister when her dog wants to play with her. She throws a ball and it accidentally lands under the bed. Since she could not reach it, Natalie goes to get a broom, only to be shocked when she finds the ball on the bed. Later that afternoon, Natalie goes to a restaurant for a business meeting when she suddenly bumps into Nick, the man whom she had an affair with. It turns out that it was Nick who pitched her to the businesswoman who will sponsor her fashion store. She is hesitant to go on with the contract, but Nick managed to change her mind. That evening, Kevin is at Avery's house to work on their project. Later on, she brings out a bottle of whiskey, and the two share a drink while continuing their work. Meanwhile, Natalie, who is sleeping alone in the room, hears someone walking up the stairs. Then, a pale and bony hand suddenly crawls along the floor. Frightened, she switches on the light, but no one's there. She gathers the courage to walk toward the bedroom door, but she's caught off guard when someone covers her mouth and drags her away. Kevin realizes he can't let things go any further with Avery. He doesn't want to betray his wife. He decides to go home, and Avery seems a bit disappointed. Natalie, who is now sleeping on the couch, is startled when her husband wakes her. She tries to explain to Kevin what happened, but he just brushes it off, thinking it is just stress playing tricks on her. That night, they're supposed to have dinner with Natalie's sister and mom. Danny shows up at the house with food and finds a note from Natalie asking her to feed the dog. While she's upstairs, the dog starts whimpering. She comes down to check, only to find the kitchen faucet running. She turns it off, but when she's about to go upstairs again, the faucet starts running once more. As she closes it for the second time, a loud noise startles her, and the power goes out. Panicked, she runs upstairs and locks herself in the bedroom. Someone follows her and tries to open the door, so she hides in the closet. Her phone, which she couldn't find earlier, starts ringing behind her. When she turns to get it, someone pulls her into the dark. Later, Kevin and Natalie return home and find no sign of Danny. They assume she never came, possibly to avoid seeing their mother. Over dinner, Natalie and her mother get into a heated argument, which is cut short by the sound of glass breaking in their front yard. They rush outside and find their car on fire. Disturbed by all the strange things happening, Natalie decides to visit Claudia to learn the truth about the house. Claudia explains that the place originally belonged to her older brother Jay, who lived there with his wife Erin. Jay had been unfaithful to Erin, and as revenge, Erin started an affair with another man whose identity remained a mystery. While Claudia is talking to Natalie, her husband Robert secretly listens to their conversation. He offers to buy the house back, but Natalie turns him down. Meanwhile, Kevin is at the park when his dog starts acting odd. Kevin takes him to the vet, who reveals that their dog has been poisoned with a deadly substance. To end his suffering, Kevin and Natalie have to put him down. A while later, the couple finds a bouquet of flowers in front of their house. That's when Natalie confesses that Nick was the one who helped her get the deal with the businesswoman. Kevin asks if she is seeing him, and Natalie says yes, but only for work. However, Kevin does not believe this. That night, Natalie wakes up to a scratching sound. The doorknob starts shaking, and she quickly wakes Kevin. They hurry downstairs, but there's no one there. The following night, Natalie calls Nick to confront him about the flowers, but her lover denies sending her the bouquet. When she checks her phone, Natalie is shaken when she discovers someone used her phone to take photos of her and Kevin while they were sleeping. At that moment, the record player starts playing music again. As she looks around her office, a pale, eerie figure suddenly appears from behind a mannequin. The figure charges at her as she runs upstairs. She locks the door, but the intruder is already inside the room. Natalie escapes to the balcony and is about to jump into the swimming pool when the intruder pushes her. The police arrived, but they failed to find anyone. Kevin doesn't believe her version of the story, but Natalie is determined to sleep somewhere else. The next day, Kevin goes to the police to look for some answers, but the officer shows him the CCTV footage from that night, and no one is in the house aside from his wife. The two attend another counseling session, but they only end up arguing even more. Moments later, Kevin suddenly feels unwell, and the doctor discovers that a dangerous poison was found in his system. The detective starts to suspect that Natalie might be trying to harm her husband, but she denies this. That night, while Natalie is alone at home, a stranger comes over with a bouquet of flowers. She tries to drive him away, but he suddenly starts attacking her. Fortunately, she's able to defend herself by stabbing him with a pair of scissors. In a shocking twist, the police discover that Robert was behind the attack and was also connected to the events in the house, like the vandalism, the adult magazine orders, and even the deaths of Claudia's brother and his wife. He had done it all so he could sell the house at a higher price and pay off his heavy debts. After the truth comes out, Kevin apologizes to Natalie for not believing her, but Natalie feels they should go their separate ways. Knowing Kevin will never fully trust her again, Natalie has installed a camera in their bedroom to catch anything unusual on tape. The next morning, Kevin receives a text from her asking him not to come home that night, so when she calls later, he ignores it. Natalie leaves him a voicemail, apologizing. Kevin finally calls her back and says she told him not to return, but Natalie is shocked because she never sent that message. She checks the bedroom camera for any clues. What she sees makes her gasp in horror. A pale, thin man had crawled out from under the bed and used her phone that morning. While she's still trying to make sense of the terrifying footage, the closet door behind her slowly opens. Someone creeps out and attacks her. Natalie wakes up chained inside a small room filled with photographs and security monitors. Her captor walks in and prepares to inject her with poison, but she begins speaking to him with sympathy. She realizes that Erin had brought this strange man into the house for a revenge affair, but he had fallen in love with her. In the end, Erin chose to stay with her husband, leaving the man full of bitterness and hate. He leans into Natalie, and she starts kissing him passionately. He starts smiling, but his mood changes when Kevin comes home and starts looking for Natalie. The man stuffs a cloth in her mouth and slips out through a hidden passage, planning to kill Kevin. Upstairs, Kevin sees someone lying in bed and thinks it's Natalie. But when he pulls the sheets back, he's shocked to find Danny's lifeless body. The pale man sneaks up behind him, and the two get into a fight. Meanwhile, Natalie manages to break free from her chains and hides behind a mannequin in her office. The man, now downstairs, finds her and attacks. Luckily, Kevin grabs the poison syringe and stabs it into him. Natalie follows with a strike of her own, stabbing him with scissors, bringing their nightmare to an end. A month later, Kevin and Natalie move out of the house that haunted them for months. But just when it seems everything is over, the closet door in the now empty house slowly swings shut by itself. Did you like our movie recap? Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. To be updated for new movie recaps, hit the notification bell.